Greetings, geeks and geekorellas. It is me. I am back. What the fuck? What the fuck? Actually, you know what? Give me a minute. There we go. I actually had to go grab my notes because this episode was like, what? Sorry about that. But anyway, we're talking about Castle Rock. If the title and that crazy intro didn't already give it away. We're talking about the penultimate episode of this season 1, named Henry Deaver. And now I see why it was named that. But before we get into that, and before we get into spoilers, just let you know. Sorry, this just got me jumbled up. What I was going to say was, before I get into all of that, I wanted to let you know that I'm getting into spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it, come back. This show is really good. And this is really what the fuck, and I don't want to spoil it for you. But without further ado, let's get into it. So we start off flashing back to Henry's dad, who's giving this voiceover, talking about a bunch of tragedies, and then going to a tragedy where he was a baby and his mom tried to kill him in the crib, but he somehow survived and thought it was God. And then we flash to I don't know how to say this, but we flash to Bill Skarsgård as a normal freaking human being, giving like this pitch for this thing to cure Alzheimer's. And we see him, he's got this life, he's even got a wife, and they're hinting at trying to have a baby. And he then gets a call from Alan, Sheriff Alan. And first you're like, what the fuck? Why is he still alive? And then you're like, what? Because he says, has something happened to Mom? And Alan says, no, Ruth is okay. But it's his dad, and we later find out that his dad has shot himself at the lake. So it's kind of sort of, this might be jumping ahead a bit, but I don't know how else I'm going to go ahead and keep surmising. We find out that Bill is Henry Deaver. Yes, Henry Deaver. Because I don't know how else to do this, but I'm gonna just go ahead and jump ahead and drop like the bomb. It looks like this is Henry Deaver from another universe. Bill is Henry Deaver from another universe. We see this Bill, after hearing about his father, go home, and he runs into Molly and her younger sister, and Molly's a councilwoman, and the sister seems to be kind of the gruff one. Actually, the sisters seem to be filling Jane Levy's role. Interesting. But yeah, so, because Jane Levy isn't in this episode. But, he talks with Molly. He goes and has a similar to before, and with our Henry, and he goes and it's revealed that in this universe, Ruth actually left Henry's dad and moved to Boston with Alan. So in this universe, Alan and Ruth have a happy ending. But, he's going around, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this because I'm a DC fan, and I don't know how else I'm gonna say it and keep the two. So I'm gonna call Bill's Henry, for the time being, Earth 2 Henry. So Earth 2 Henry is exploring his dad's place and goes to the basement and finds a cage, and inside the cage is Earth 1 Henry as a kid. Our Henry as a kid. And then Henry's dad has many tapes about tragedies and voices. In this one, the dad never heard the voice. In this universe, the dad only heard the voice when he was a baby and kept looking for it because he thought it was the voice of God. So, yeah, that's the thing. He reveals that our Henry was found in the woods, and he's talking about how he's his father and that how he was looking for the voice, all the stuff pre our Henry disappearing. He's telling him about it, and he's also telling him how once he was in the woods, it was no longer snowing, and that he was going to town and nobody recognized him. So he came home, and that's when his dad locked him up in the closet. And similar to Bill in the beginning, Kid Henry hasn't aged. So it's like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, if that wasn't enough of a what the fuck for you, in this universe, Dennis is alive. He's a cop. And our Earth 2 Henry talks to Earth 2 Molly about all of this. She's kind of a non-believer, but she still thinks that it's kind of bad that what's happening to this kid is happening. And then we start to see that things are being mirrored now. He's taken to the same exact hospital that Bill was taken to. And a fire comes out, just like in that. And Kid Henry is talking about how it's when he touches him. So, more mirrored. And so, all of that is going on. And so, then, Molly and Earth 2 Henry are trying to help Earth 2 Henry are trying to help Earth 1 Henry. And in the process, Molly touches him, gets all the visions of Earth 1 of like, well, not, it doesn't seem like she's getting all of Earth 1 memories. She's just getting all of her Earth 1 memories of having the shining, because it doesn't seem like she has the shine in Earth 2. And so she's like, we need to help him. She takes him to the woods. They're being chased by Officer Dennis. Earth 2 Henry's like, what the fuck's going on? It is just going around. All of a sudden, they get to the middle of the woods, and Henry and then Molly start seeing this like alternate universe thing where there's this woman with a knife who looks a lot like Beatrix. I'm forgetting her last name from Harry Potter. Helena Bonham Carter's character. She looks kind of like her, but with a knife. And she starts running, and they start running after her, and Officer Dennis is running after them. And then Officer Dennis shoots Molly. Molly sees two moons or suns in this alternate universe thing and dies. And then Earth 2 Henry touches her and then automatically wakes up, and he's in Earth 1. But he's not just in Earth 1. He's in Earth 1, and so is Earth 1 Henry. They're both in Earth 1, and it's on the night that Alan found young Henry. So you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You don't keep full circle, but what the fuck? And then we go back to Earth 2 Henry, who's been telling Molly about all of this story. And then ties into everything else that we heard. Like, apparently immediately after that, the warden came and kidnapped Bill. And so that's what's been going on. And so that's the fucking episode. And you're like, what the fuck? So, in the end, Bill's not a bad guy. It's whoever has been being the puppet master here. Because it seems like what happens is when you go to an alternate universe, you stop aging, and anyone who touches you goes crazy. Unless a version of you has the shine and they get their memories. So this is so weird, and how the fuck is this gonna tie into the finale? Is Henry and Molly gonna team up against whoever the fuck is the villain, which could honestly right now be the goddamn devil? I have no fucking clue. But honestly, this show is a big giant mindfuck, and I am loving it. I cannot wait to see what happens next. Thank you for watching. Next up will probably be my Throwback Thursday. I was going to have something out later today by Wednesday, but things got in the way of that, so maybe not, but thank you for watching. Till next time, and beyond.